Okay, here we go. Continuing on with Kain's Chronicles. Okay, here we go. Continuing on. Oh, forgot that I had Kain's Chronicle not muted. Okay. Alrighty, much better. Now we will not have reverberations and such things. Let's see, level 20, 8100 gold. Let's go ahead and continue on with the story now. Not super interested in these places nearby, they're all more the same for the most part. On the road. The sandstorm was worse than we'd imagined, so we took cover in some ruins half buried in the sand. I couldn't get what had happened out of my mind and found myself staring at Rose's left arm. If you have something to say, then say it. ... It was Curtis. He was a friend. I killed him. There's nothing else to say. Okay, who is Aswell? His experiments were always too risky, too dangerous, even back when he was one of us. After his betrayal, he formed the Qualifiers. They're a group of fanatics who worship the very ground he walks on. Aswell selects the human guinea pigs for his mad experiments from their numbers. How about the left arm? This is the power of an outsider. I became infected on a mission when I was injured in a fierce battle against one of them. Aswell treated the wound. Likely he is partially to blame for what has become of me. But know this, I will use every tool at my disposal to carry out my duties, be it this power or you. Guess we're done asking then? Very well. We waited for the sandstorm to pass in silence. Though I grew more and more impatient with every wasted moment, Rose sat motionless, his face betraying no emotion. This is nothing compared to the blizzards in my homeland. Even the fearsome Grow had a place he called home. The thought made him seem somehow less threatening and more human. So what happened to the outsider you picked up in Yangguang? I see. I could barely believe that you were serious about carrying a bound outsider to some mountain temple, but I suppose that what I perceived as foolishness allowed you to save his life. It seemed that the sandstorm had finally died down. Let's go. There's a city not far from here. We will speak about the astral fissure there. Oh, something interesting just popped up back at Dhaka. As we enter Chapter 3, finally. Luckily, it takes no time to travel back to here. Merchants of the wetlands, bandits bound. The road was finally open, but now bandits were waylaying merchants and opening the reopened land route. A merchant named Lila asked me to escort her, and I happily agreed. However, oh no. So what I've been doing in the meantime, that I haven't been recording for the most part, is running through all the Soul Chronicles and stuff. Lila's popped up in a couple of people's Soul Chronicles. She's a very shifty merchant. Golly, much to you guys though. Chicken korma as a reward as well. We can get some quick gold here though and a little bit of experience. When I arrived at the trading house in Dhaka, merchants I recognized from the road repair job were there to greet me, but their expressions were troubled. I bid you welcome. My name is Maharshi. I represent the merchants here in our fair city. The road that was repaired with your help is not seeing much use. Bandits raid it constantly and few goods make it through. The merchant guild master asked me to help him once more by protecting goods and caravans traveling along the road. I nodded my agreement just as a woman arrived. It appeared that the two knew each other. Oh, so you're this famous guard everyone is talking about. I would like to depart tonight, but I need an escort. Are your services available? My name is Lila. It is a pleasure. The wooden road through the wetlands is a narrow and treacherous path for horse carts. A little wobble can cause the wheels to slip off of the planks and leave you mired. What's that? In the light of the moon, we spotted a number of small boats approaching stealthily through the inlets and water channels by the road. It's them! A group of armed men leapt out of their boats and onto a nearby sandbar and charged us. It was an ambush. We'll take that load of goods. Stand back and don't move. Not tonight. Do your job, Kain. You're the brute that beat up our friends before, aren't you? We'll make you pay for that. Wow, that was a lot of damage. Of course I am level 20. I've never seen that trap do anything. It, like, have to step on it so precisely. No taunt. I'm very saddened when I'm not allowed to taunt at the end of the battle. That's why I decided to make my emote for the channel MSK Taunt. Et voila. Retreat! The bandits swiftly boarded their boats and paddled away. You're quite skilled, thank you. I had kept the cargo safe, but something about the bandits' actions bothered me. The way they handled their boats and their retreat seemed practiced. In addition, we had only finalized our departure earlier today, yet they had set up an ambush in an ideal location to catch us. As I pondered the situation, my eyes met those of Lila, who had been gazing at me. She offered me a brilliant smile. Are you done ruminating? Then let us be off, my bodyguard. Now I got some chicken korma. Okay, let's see. Now that one way up there. Seriously? Because it's in the middle of the Himalayas, it looks like I can't get to it anyway. Why don't you tell me what it is? Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to go on and hope that I arrive in a spot where it is. After an arduous journey across the harsh desert, I found myself in the oasis city of Kashgar. I've arranged to meet my subordinates here. Forgive my tardiness, sir. And what have they decided? Sir, the 12 have spoken. Although it is unclear whether or not the subject is an outsider, the majority have voted to allow him to accompany us on our mission. They are treating this as a special case. Understood. Sir, I have one more thing to report. You've found Oswell? Or have you located another astral fissure? Neither. The 12 wish for you to investigate a facility in the Kashgar suburbs and destroy it if possible. I have the orders here. So Oswell was here. Dion, Natalie, head to the facility and carry out the mission. Sir. Understood. Dion and Natalie walked off. I asked Ro what our next move was. He turned to face me. The location of the astral fissure remains unknown, but be ready to leave whenever necessary. When your preparations are complete, meet me here. Oh boy, another Dhaka thing. Is this going to be more adventures with our good friend? Our good friend Lila. The Legend of the Great Pirate. Dining at a tavern in a port town is rarely uneventful. Sure enough, some ruffians appeared, determined to let me know I had raised their ire. They're up to level 16 now. Okay. 1,560 gold. This is a worthwhile experience, though. The tavern in the port town was teeming with fishermen, merchant sailors, and all sorts of sea folk. As I sat there eating my dinner, someone from among the boisterous crowd suddenly called out to me. Hey you, I've seen your mug before, haven't I? Huh? Oh yeah, it's that punk that was with Maxie and his crew. I couldn't forget that face even if I wanted to. Because of you, we were adrift at sea for days. We thought we were done for. Although they remembered me, I had no recollection of them. They were apparently pirates I defeated when traveling with Maxie and his crew. We got you now. Hope you're ready for us to send your sorry butt to Davy Jones' locker. Despite the, after listening to Maxie's crew actually be voice acted in Maxie's storyline, they don't sound anything like the pirates I was expecting them to based on how their language is written. Also, in Geralt's storyline, he was called Geralt by some and Geralt by others, so I don't know. Apparently the producers have the same problem. Oh, slippery. That's no good. Throws are generally pretty good on ice. Super lucky there. But I'll take it. Damn, we'll let you live this time. But things aren't gonna go so easy for you next time, you hear? Tell that bastard Maxie the same goes for him. As I watched the pirates make their retreat, an elderly fellow sitting next to me handed me a drink. Not bad, sonny boy. I'd say you're probably the ninth strongest person I've seen in my lifetime. Here, have a drink. It's on me. I thanked the old man and took the drink, then proceeded to ask him about these 8 people stronger than me. I'm talking about pirates. The 8 people stronger than you are pirates, of course. As we get pirates, who comes to mind for you? Francis Drake, perhaps? Or maybe the red-bearded terrors of the Mediterranean, the Barbarossa brothers? What about the pirate queen Grace O'Malley? You've heard of Drake's cousin John Hawkins, right? There are hordes of famous pirates, but for me, the king of them all is none other than Cervantes de Leon. Huh? You've never heard of him? Ha ha ha! Maybe that's for the best, eh? According to the old man's story, he was apparently a great pirate that was known to all who sailed the Atlantic. He's fear and dread incarnate, that's for sure. I saw him once when I was a kid, and after that I was so scared I couldn't get a wink of sleep that night. He sailed the seas on his galleon, the Adrian. Sack then slaughter was his creed, and just his name alone was enough to strike fear into the hearts of all who heard it. He was one of the few pirates adept at handling 2 weapons at once, and some say his strikes were as strong as the blows of a kraken. You know, this is just between you and me, but Captain Cervantes... The old man went on seemingly without end. He regaled me with tales of the great pirate Cervantes until the next morning. 1,560 gold. Yeah. Any of the stuff out here is just basics, right? In Search of Strength, that's a super basic one, yeah. Still couldn't land onto that. It won't even land on it and tell me what it is. Intrepid Merchant Thomas the Explorer. Oh goody. Schwarzwind. Won't land on that one to tell me what it is either. Possibly just because of how much money I don't have. Kind of interested in it, but no matter. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to Kashgar for now. And talk to the blacksmith. As I walked around the market enjoying its hustle and bustle, I saw a woman trying to attract the attention of the customers. She told me she was a blacksmith, and she had a favor to ask. Oh, goody. You still take damage when guarding. Reduce your opponent's health below a certain level to win. Okay, that's all. Wandering through the city, I heard a cheerful voice shouting into the crowd. I noticed an energetic young woman standing in front of a shop. Gather round, behold Bolta Blacksmith's most beautiful blade, forged by a legendary blacksmith that boasts untold sharpness. Despite her best efforts, the passers-by did just that. Passed her by. Nothing today either. Hmm? The girl caught sight of me. Hey, you. That's a fine weapon you got there. You look capable of handling yourself, too. I need you to do something for me. Here's payment up front. She tossed over a bag of coin, then drew the sword she had been trying to sell and pointed it at me. It's time for a demonstration. Don't worry, I'll go easy on you. The fate of an RPG protagonist, get caught up in everybody's trouble.
Sorry if you get hurt. Am I losing now? Here I go.
Do this. Let's strike. Crush you.
Just a chip needed. Thanks, that'll get their attention. Well, everyone, now that you've witnessed the sword in action, why not buy it? I'll even throw in something extra to sweeten the pot. The demonstration seemed to have been a success, and people crowded around her. Some seemed very interested in her other merchandise, too. What an excellent design. This is our excellent choice. This is our latest axe design. When the swarm of customers eventually dispersed, the blacksmith walked over to me, smiling broadly. You really saved my skin. If you want to show off a weapon, you gotta use it, right? I complimented her on her passion and courage, and her innovative sales techniques, and she grew flustered. No, I'm not really doing this for the thrill of commerce. I need the money. I got something I need to get back. Anyway, who cares about that? The name's Bolta, and I'm the boss here at this smithy. Well, I mean, I'm the only one who works here, so yeah. That's like my speedrun things. I hold all the world records for the games I speedrun, but that's because nobody else does. You know, except for the quick play and story mode versions of Soulcalibur 3, but the ones I actually come up with. Anyway, take this as a token of my thanks. I don't just make weapons, you know. I upgrade them, too. That material I just gave you is used to do just that. If you need me to upgrade a weapon, you know where to find me. Ah, we're finally getting weapon upgrades. That's one of the achievements I haven't gotten yet. I finished my preparations and went to meet Grow. He was waiting for me. Good, you're here. The situation has changed. Dion and Natalie should have reached the facility by now, but I've yet to hear word from them. Something likely happened. We're going after them. Sure. Let us make haste. Is that really necessary? Solar Augite. Holy cow, lots of places popping up there. Bolta's Smithy is now available for use in Kashgar. Here you can use weapon enhancements to add new bonuses to weaponry. You can also synthesize other weapons to transfer their bonuses to other weapons with available slots. Upgrade your favorite equipment to make it even stronger. How to upgrade weapons. Select a weapon with an empty slot. Select the materials you wish to use to upgrade the item. The weapon will be upgraded and a new bonus added. Did it pass on one bonus from this one another? Weapons used to add new bonuses are lost. Well, that makes sense. That sounds like something that I would like to do. Okay, so critical damage plus 15% during soul charge. I need to remember to use soul charge so I can do that. Soul gauge plus 3% on hit, or critical damage plus 10%. Okay, so this is the one I want to. What will this do? Health plus 15%, or soul gauge combo damage plus 10%. That is incompatible for some reason. Okay, or I can use other weapons. That one would give me gold plus 5%, which might be semi-valuable. That one gives health plus 15%. Damage taken minus 15% is apparently incompatible. Soul gauge increase plus 20%. Maybe that's the one I really want. That'll take only 100 gold? Wow. Would it be the same for that one? Yeah, I'll do a lower level one then. Boom. More soul gauge means more soul charges, which means more free spells to throw out. Okay, Bolta's in a bind, so we need to help her. Bolta wasn't her usual chipper self. I wondered if there was something I could do to help as a thank you for all her kindness. Opponents' high attacks do more damage, but their other attacks are weakened. Defeat them. Okay, so in other words, if I crouch a lot, I'll be in pretty good shape. I probably am not going to really need to, but we will see what happens. Let me see how well my new weapon does. The bustling streets of Kashgar were dyed by the colors of the setting sun. I opened a familiar door, and the ringing of the blacksmith's hammer paused. Welcome. Oh, it's Kain. You're a sight for sore eyes. I'm just finishing up. Let's have a drink. Go on, drink up now. Bolta's cheer seemed forced. There was something bothering her, so I asked what it was. She smiled bitterly. Rats. That obvious? The Royal Army wants to take another look at the people who make their equipment, so they're holding an exhibition. That sort of position carries a lot of honor, so I'd normally leave it the chance, but the competition's stiff. Another smith called Yashin's been making a real name for himself lately. His work isn't great, but his prices can't be beat. I want to go in the opposite direction. This is a smithy with techniques that have been passed down for generations. The effort I put into the metal makes it something special. But my sources of good iron have dried up. There's not much time until the exhibition, and I was wondering how I'd get my hands on some decent material. I asked if I could lend her a hand, and Bolta smiled sheepishly. I knew you were a man I could count on. I didn't want to trouble you, but here we are. Thanks for the help. 2 days' travel from the city was a wide salt lake. Much of it had dried up, leaving a flat, white expanse of land. This used to be the bottom of the sea, and high-quality iron sand accumulated here over the centuries. This land belongs to the local lord, but he's given us permission to gather sand here today. Yeah, but you didn't get permission from us, so get out of here. You're Aeson's thugs. Humph, you never give up. I guess we'll have to convince you the hard way. Surely. Truly and surely. Oh, I didn't get to use any soul charge. You're too weak. Damn you, we won't forget this. Watch your backs! The ruffians uttered one last threat before fleeing the beach. That lot works for Aeson, a local mercenary captain. He's of noble birth, but fortune comes and goes, right? Bolta muttered as she grasped her pick. Something was on her mind, but this was not the time to pry. The smith dug quickly through the layer of salt, revealing black earth underneath. There we are. Yes, this is the quality I was looking for. I really owe you for this. Thanks. Bolta gave me a delighted smile.
Your soul surges in your body.
And I got mead. Oh boy, what does mead do for you? The wild girl and the ruins. Ah, okay, that sounds interesting. Versus an unknown enemy. We came across what we were looking for not too far from town. While at first glance it seemed to be an empty ruin, Ro informed me that Aswell had built a laboratory inside. However, it appeared we were not the only ones interested in it. Okay, let's get some food then. That's what it's food. Okay, I have mead now, which is health recovery every 1.5 seconds. Amazing. I still have Howron's mooncake, or another of Howron's mooncakes. Oh, I know why. I did start another Salting was playing around a little bit with it. Your inventory is shared between all of your games. That is going to complicate the speedrun again still. I really don't want to have to do a speedrun of this by trying to find a way to delete my save data every time I want to do a speedrun of this mode. Well, we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's see. Flower tea. Soul gauge recovery every 0.5 seconds. Yeah, let's go for a normal flowering tea. The entrance must be hidden around here somewhere. Get searching. I nodded and set out to search the area. Before long, I heard a banging sound, and a woman's voice. I just don't get it. It's got to be here somewhere. Oh no, it's Sungmina. Like here, ya, to. Or here, ha, hiya. You there, what are you doing? Who are you? Can't you see I'm busy? It is not safe here. Leave, now. Thanks for the advice, but I have business here. Ignoring Gro, she continued to inspect the ruin's wall. How many times must I tell you, fool? Who are you calling fool? The name's Sungmina. I don't know who you are, but if you're looking for a fight, you've got one. If I lose, I'll leave. Deal? Sungmina readied her weapon. Gro shook his head, then looked over at me. How irritating. I shall leave this one to you, Kain. I only kill outsiders. Thanks.
Battle 1. Fight!
I'll prevail! Showdown! One strike! We'll crush you! No mercy! No more! Half!
Battle 2. Fight!
Come on.
I'll prevail! One strike! We'll crush you!
Now!
3. Fight!
I'm coming!
Now or never!
One strike! We'll crush you! Try this!
Okay, you got one in.
Battle 4. Fight!
Here you go!
No mercy!
Oh, come on.
No way!
Good work.
You lost. Now leave. Sniff. Come, Kain. Oh man, I'd much rather be in company of Sungmina than Gro. What was she looking for in the ruins, though? Oh, whatever that was disappeared. Probably still crossing Himalayas for this, or Tian Shan is what I'm crossing now, huh? So yeah, I can't go anywhere near these areas yet. Any other things appear in any of these port towns? Or old places we've been through? No? So the usual stuff. Okay. Though we had found the ruins where Dion and Natalie were trapped, a swarm of Malfested would stand between us and our missing companions when we finally managed to get inside. Gaining increased attack power to defeat them all. They're only level 17. Oops. Here, I sense an evil coming from the other side of this wall, and there are signs Dion and Natalie passed through here. We're going in. I walked down dimly lit passages, the walls damp and the stone floor wobbling with each step. The place had clearly seen better days. It appears that experiments were performed here. However, I see nothing of import. Is that you, sir? Suddenly, Dion's muffled voice rang out from behind a wall. Dion, are you all right? Yes, sir. Natalie is with me. Be careful, there's still plenty of Malfested roaming around. Intruder detected. Seize them. Oh, scrawny Malfested. I turned in surprise to see a horde of Malfested. Short Malfested. Master, Aswell, we'll want them. These people, Aswell did this to them. They're dangerous. Worry not about us. Flee while you can. Rah! Throughout all these stories, you have short adjectives to separate the different types of guys we have here. And they're always different. It's like sophisticated and refined and aggressive and short and scrawny. It's not just like male one, female one, or anything of the sort. Bulldoze skill. One down. Pretty easy. Our job is done here. Sir, how on earth were we able to defeat so many Malfested? They've been exterminated. That is all you need to know. Now tell me what happened. We found some suspicious documents, but the Malfested ambushed us. Amidst the fighting, we accidentally triggered some sort of trap. A wall dropped down and locked us in here. This room must have served as a prison, because there's no way to open the door from within. It's just the two of you in there? There's nothing that might help? Yes, it's too dark to see anything clearly, but we found nothing when we searched the room earlier. Gro paused to think, then turned to face me. There must be a way to open it from the outside. When this place was used as a lab, that room likely served a number of purposes. Whether it functions as a holding cell or a sealed experiment chamber, they needed to open it eventually. The switch must be nearby. We split up to search. A few minutes later, Gro pointed to part of the floor. Looking closer, I noticed a stone slightly different in color from the others. A few minutes of searching, our perception rolls were not great. After a quick press, the wall rose to reveal Dion and Natalie. Sir, please forgive us for our failure. We are most grateful for your help. However, I feel you should have left us behind. When you lost contact with us, you must have suspected we had fallen into a trap. It would have been more appropriate to prioritize pursuit of Aswell and call in a rescue party from headquarters to find us. Natalie, you go too far. Sir, your judgment is often clouded when it comes to Aswell, is it not? Our mission is to defeat Aswell. Everything else is secondary. Furthermore, you are a valuable resource. It would have been illogical to leave you behind. Suddenly, the building shook violently and the floor collapsed. What the? Yay, this gets better and better. Okay, we are going to go back to DACA, where we can do currency exchange. We're going to buy 100 XP really quick. Okay, now when I opened my eyes, I could see a hole in the ceiling. That must have been where we had fallen through. It was quite the drop. How do you feel? You appear not to have sustained any severe injuries, but you are unconscious for some time. Try to refrain from making any sudden movements. I asked if Dion and Natalie were okay. Gro nodded. Dion and Natalie returned before long. As expected, we were able to find a way out. The building was old and unstable to begin with, so it is likely all the fighting above weakened it to the point of collapse. It seems the only way out is up. Well then, get climbing. Hey, you still breathing down there? Say something if you are. A voice came from above. It belonged to the girl we had met outside, Sung Mina, who wasted no time in responding. I knew it! I'm going to throw down a rope. I'm glad that wasn't the last we saw of her. You have my gratitude. Thank you. I heard a loud noise and the whole building collapsed. Talk about a shock. The smoke was crazy too. Well, at least you're all safe. I'll accept any praise you want to throw at me. Why had you not left? What happened to our deal? Were you going to scurry in after we had left? Heck. Humph. No matter. The building is no more. I know not what you sought, but it is too late to enter now. Have you heard of Soul Edge? You might know it as the Sword of Salvation. I came here looking for it. I have to get my hands on it. I heard a rumor that it was around here, so... We searched every corner of that place, but found no trace of this sword. To be blunt, look elsewhere. Of course, if you wish to stay here and dig holes, be my guest. Okay, got it. Thanks. Another dead end. Oh well, I guess it's on to the next place. Catch you another time. You'd think people would name Soul Edge the Sword of Salvation. But I cannot deny that these rumors exist. I suppose that sword may offer salvation, depending on how it is used, of course. Sir, here are the files we found inside. These mention the evil seed. Yes, sir. It is a study on the circumstances surrounding the occurrence of the evil seed. The research seems extensive. This matches our organization's intelligence, as well as trying to awaken the evil seed. The problem is how close he is. Perhaps his interest in the astral fissures is linked to his plan? It is highly likely. We need to report back on what we've learned. Got more things in the library. Got a Sung Mina meeting there. Oh! Oh. Now we can go back to the dojo in here. Wuchang. Uh-oh. The warrior stands in our way. A single level 16 enemy is off. Level recovers over time and their critical edge does more damage. Okay, so I don't want to get hit by critical edge. I need to find myself a more powerful weapon, I think. My weapons level is only 13 and I'm 21, so I could potentially get a much higher level weapon. Maybe I should check the shop in, whatchamacallit. Ooh, a level 14 Caravel Anathema, but with no status on it. Level 24, Han Myong. I returned to Song Dojang to tell Han Myong about Mina. As a thank you for my troubles, he offered to go toe-to-toe with me in battle. That's a warrior thing for you. Emerald Nimbus, level 18. I wonder what that is. Attacks reduce your guard more and have a high chance of being counted as counter hits. Okay. I should probably get some food for this. Reversal edge damage plus 30%. I'm gonna spam some reversal edge. That's mercenaries. I don't have any. When I returned to the Dojang, I was greeted by the people with whom I had spoken during my previous visit. I informed him of my business there. Oh, I remember you. Yes, my master told me what's going on. Right now, he's most likely training alone in the mountains behind the Dojang. Take the path over there to get to him. On my way up the mountain, I found Han Myong sitting in meditation. It seemed he had finished his training. Oh, it's you. It's good to see you. I told him I had run into Mina in the ruins near Kashgar. That foolish daughter of mine is just as reckless as ever. It's as if she doesn't think. He spoke as harshly as ever about his daughter, but his eyes sparkled with relief to hear she was safe. I'm terribly sorry for the trouble my daughter caused you. It's not much of an offering, but how would you like to have a sparring match now, since we couldn't before? Not one to turn down a chance to fight a god among martial artists, I agreed wholeheartedly. Very well.
Battle 1. Fight.
Meets Harugi style.
Giving up yet? Do this. I'm coming. Wrong move.
Oop. Nice kick. Ooh boy. Whew.
Half measures.
That was tough.
Battle 2. Fight. You dare. Half measures. Battle 3. Fight. No mercy. Stop. Take this. Give it up. Die.
There we go. Most impressive. I can see now why Mina could not hold her own against you. To be able to trade blows with a promising young martial artist such as yourself has brought me more pleasure than I could have hoped for. Kain, it's late. I'll prepare a room for you in my home. I insist you come stay with us. The next morning I was greeted by Han Myung as I gathered my belongings. I'd like to thank you again for returning with news of Mina. Please, take this as a token of my gratitude. I'm sure you'll find it useful at some point in your journey. Han Myung gave me a pole art passed down through the Song family. Please feel free to visit again should you ever have the chance.
Your soul surges in your body.
Nice. Enough gold to make up what I got, as well as a level 18 Emerald Nimbus that can be double enhanced. That will be helpful for the other Kratos character I've been running. I don't think that this is really worthwhile. That's level 13 in Search of Strength for 690 more gold. No. That's it for this. Okay, let's go back to our next area. Samarkand. Oh boy, we're in Samarkand. Trade route, riddle me this. Sounds interesting. The Ming Empire and Europe are connected by a long, winding trade route. I followed it west, traversing scorching sands and treacherous mountain ranges. Eventually I arrived at the great city of Samarkand, a rich place where people from all over the world gather to trade goods and ideas. They say you can find anything here, for a price. But even in Samarkand, some things are still hard to get. What's this say? I can't read this language yet. In a plaza in the center of the city, a group of people were gathered in front of a notice. Let me see. A handsome reward to those who present me the item that embodies these words. The queen sits in a glimmering chamber, locked tight within the sturdy walls of her castle. She holds an orb most precious. I like the sound of a handsome reward, but what's the rest supposed to mean? Don't know. I know who's behind this, though. That Western lord. You know, the one who's always doting on his daughter. Oh yeah, I heard one time he ordered food and medicine all the way from Ming. Maybe he wants something from there again? I listened to the crowd chatter while mulling over solutions to the riddle. Eventually I hit upon the idea that this precious orb could be a pearl, and the castle would be the shell that protects it. A Korean weapons merchant I'd once met had told me about a rare food that Korea and Japan exported to the Ming Empire: dried abalone. Abalone shells are extremely tough, but inside they shine like a rainbow. Dried abalone is supposed to be quite the luxury item, but I doubt cost was an issue to this lord. I should probably go see him if I ever find some. Huh. I wonder if I have dried abalone. I think I remember seeing that. I've probably used it, actually. Sugar agate. Solar agate. I think I did have it at one point, but oh well. Auto counter 30%. Nutmeg high quality, that's the same. Nullify counter 50%. I've got a lot of cinnamon. I ought to start using that maybe. Unfortunately, even though Samarkand is supposed to be a place where you can buy everything, it doesn't let me use a shop here. I'm gonna go back to Kashgar really quick and see what weapons I can pick up. Let's go with only Geralt styles. Carabella and Anathema, 150 power. All damage plus 5% for 1600 gold. Nah, not good enough based on the cost. 160 damage is a lot, but with no other abilities except for the increased damage, no set bonus from being light, it's not worth 1600. Especially since its damage bonus is still the same, 25% only. I'm not quite sure what that means. That might mean the maximum bonus damage you deal regardless of how low level the enemy is. I might look into that after I'm done with my first playthrough. Samarkand, a city bustling with travelers and merchants. Here, Dion and Natalie left us to meet with an informant who claimed to have information on the astral fissures. I'm gonna head to the market. On my way to the market, I found my path blocked by a large crowd. An agitated man was shouting at the throngs of people. "Danger lies to the west. Head that way at your own risk. You'll be killed by the lizard monster, or the giant. My village was attacked by those very fiends. I'm the only survivor. They're demons, monsters that glory in slaughter." You know, I've heard similar rumors myself. As have I. Rumors from far to the west. A monstrous knight in azure armor has been rampaging across the land, murdering all he encounters. The Azure Knight. I thought it was just a rumor, but we should hire more guards. A lizard monster, a giant, and the Azure Knight. Vowing to take care if I ended up heading west, I left the crowd behind. Not long after I met up with Gro, Dion and Natalie appeared. We have discovered a new astral fissure located near Bukhara. Understood. We should prepare to... Kate, are you okay? An unbearable pain lanced through my head. I dropped to my knees, desperately trying to endure it. After a few moments, the agony faded. It's been a while since you absorbed the power of an astral fissure. Can you stand? I nodded and slowly rose to my feet. Rest a while. Once preparations are complete, we head out. Purifier of Evil. At Gro's insistence, we took time to rest and rejuvenate. Then we began our journey to the next astral fissure. On the way, new enemies presented themselves. We have reduced health and our enemies have increased attack power because they are malfested. And likely, we always tend to lose health before these, when we're running low on astral fissure energy. As we made our way to the astral fissure, Dion leaned over and whispered to Gro. Served for some time now. I know. We're being followed, and they do not seem friendly. Perhaps they've been affected by the fissure in Bukhara. That is a distinct possibility. Though I loathe any delay, we should face them here and now. We readied our weapons. Moments later, malfested soldiers charged out of the darkness around us. Arrgh. Taking a break somewhere, I yell.
Stay still.
Boom, wrecked her. Doing well. And yourself? Nope, still not very high. I don't know how much, well, there's an achievement for reaching level 50 and I'm only 22, so... For the most part, I don't know if it's going to get that high because none of the difficulties in the Soul Chronicle were that high either. Arg! Hey, that one's still alive. Watch out! A Malfested I thought I defeated stood up and swung its sword at me. I tried to defend myself, but I stumbled as my head exploded in pain. Gross sped towards me, arriving just in time to deflect the Malfested's strike. However, the wild maneuver put him off balance, leaving him wide open. Malfested's next swing arced toward him. Sir! Before the Malfested's strike could land, the creature froze. A moment later, it crumpled quietly to the ground. A woman stood behind where the creature had been. You did this. Who are you? I see no need to tell you. The evil here has been purified, and so I take my leave. And with that, she disappeared into the darkness. Sir, are you okay? Yes. Who was that? She was no ordinary warrior. Indeed. For the briefest of moments, I sensed a strange power emanating from her weapon. We must ask our agents to investigate her. Yeah, I bet. We had some stressful moments especially during my run. Good to have it, though. Okay, a couple more. Oh, another one down there. Okay. Like a lot of JRPGs and stuff, you constantly jump back and forth between places for side quests and leaving main quests undone. Who cares if I'm almost dying from not having Astral Finisher energy? We're going all the way back to Dhaka to deal with the merchants of the wetlands again. I'd begun to see the truth behind the events that had transpired, but before I could reveal it to Maharshi, I was attacked. That hunting knife woman there is probably going to be Lila. It was sunset as I was walking through the city with Maharshi. The number of people dwindled as we moved towards the outskirts. Kain, you said you had something you wanted to speak to me about away from prying ears. Surely this is far enough. Suddenly, the thump of dozens of footsteps echoed around us. I thought I would have time to share what I had learned from Maharshi, but the enemy moved faster than I had anticipated. Forgive me, but I'm afraid that discussion won't be happening. Lila! The woman smiled, her teeth glinting dangerously in the light of the setting sun. Please don't think ill of me. I thought I would be able to let you live. Two is probably... Yeah, the saved game was very much our savior. 2 is the one that I've played the most of apart from 3. Parrying my flame, okay.
Farewell.
Man, he's starting to beat me. Looks like ring outs are disabled here, thank goodness. How did that not hit? Yeah, in the RPG versions of these games, some of the enemies have really whacked out attack powers.
Too easy.
Bah! Get out of here, now! Just as I was about to subdue Lila, she gave a cry and her lackeys scattered. It was you all this time? Then the attack on your cart? Entirely staged, of course. My, but you're awfully naive to be in your position. Control the flow of goods, manipulate prices, and earn profit. A rather simple plan for any merchant. It's a sound idea, to be certain, but you'd have to invest a lot up front to reap any rewards. A merchant of your resources could never... Never mind that, you've caught me. So what will you do with me? She's caused me a lot of trouble in the Soul Chronicles. Fortunately, no one had died because of the attacks, but the bandits cutting off the road caused the city a great deal of harm. Lila had to answer for involvement in that crime. As I was talking to Maharshi, the sound of hooves drew near. Madam, over here! Some of the brigands that fled earlier had returned on horseback. Their leader leaned down and offered a hand to Lila. Oh, you're quick today. Stop! Lila moved like lightning and seemed to almost fly into the saddle. Don't fret, my dears. I won't be attacking this city again. I was looking for a chance to change ventures anyway. Lila gave us a quick grin from atop her horse. The woman and her band vanished into the dusk. Probably same thing happens whether you arrest her or not. The bandits' attacks ceased for a while after that, and the repairs to the road progressed slowly, but steadily. Perhaps Lila truly intended to keep her promise. Daka has leveled up. Oh, that's nice. Does that mean it has higher level weapons? Not really. More items? Perhaps. Nothing I really want, though. Okay. Time to head back to... There are a few that do matter, but some of them don't. It's hard to tell which are which, actually. Okay, so is this at all possible to reach? It is now... Oh, it's only 120 from here. Good. Oh, there's somebody in the middle of there, too. I'm gonna... What is this? In Search of Strength is all that is? I don't need really a Search of Strength. It just keeps arriving in a new area. Let's go back to... Let's see... Here to Dagon. And see who the 5 rings, a letter for Ruan. There is a story mode for each character, as well as a main story chronicle. Yes, it did indeed. Jihan asked me to take a letter to his old friend Ruan to request his help, but only kicks and throws are effective. Defeat your opponent. Ah, dear. Jihan's shop was in a bustling commercial district near the harbor. I imagined that a front for criminal organization would be tucked out of sight, but it was a large building facing a broad street. Oh, if it isn't Kain! It's nice to see you again. Welcome. After we had caught up, Jihan took a letter from his coat. Would you be willing to do a job for me? I'd like you to deliver this to an old man named Ruan who lives outside of town. He's a former soldier who used to be our most skilled man. He's retired now, but he's smart, and with his help I could turn the city around. Are you willing to assist me? Yep. I arrived at the location Jihan told me about and was surprised to find a splendid manor. It seemed Ruan was a man of taste as well as ability. What's your business with me? Oh, the boy sent you. The old man's face grew dark as he read the letter. Kong Huang went missing, did he? The boy wants me to help him run the shop and clean up town. Ruan's eyes shifted to me. His kind grandfatherly expression had been replaced by a sharp, calculating stare. In our line of work, a business is only as good as the one who runs it. People might lend you their strength, but unless you have the brains to use it, it'll go nowhere. I won't waste my time on someone who doesn't have what it takes, even if it is the boy. With that, the old man's smile returned. But he must have had a reason to send a stranger like you to convince me to help, right? And if that reason is a good one, perhaps I will lend a hand. For example, maybe you're a warrior with enough skill to entice me. What do you think?
Battle 1. Fight!
See, you can do this. One strike. Crush you.
Oh yeah, only kicks and throws are effective. No wonder I'm doing such low damage. I stabbed behind his head and it did damage. Awesome. Come on.
How useless.
Oh, I must admit I did you a disservice by underestimating you. You've proven yourself to me. I'll have to trust in the boy's intuition. He has my help, at least for a time. Ruan sank deep into thought. Let's start off by visiting a few notable citizens to collect funds. After that, we'll see who remains in the organization to get them properly trained. Of course, the boy will have to work on his image too in order to keep Lin Pei's gang on their toes. I was certain I would soon be hearing more of Jihan's complaints. That's right. I am a powerful wizard, don't forget that. Okay, that city's been upgraded now. Bounty for scoundrels. 260 gold, level 13. I'm here, so I might as well. Accept your request to eliminate a blackguard who is troubling the area. It's brewed out a number of mercenaries and bounty hunters.
Battle 1. Fight!
Ouch. This guy is really causing me problems. But yeah, there is a Soul Chronicle for each character. Not each one, they follow different parts in the actual... it's not like the old Soulcalibur 1 and 2 and Soul Blade style story modes or arcade modes where each character wins and they have a victory condition that, you know, isn't canon. It's actually following all the canon storylines and some major events in the history of the characters. So it it's a lot of, because of that, it's a lot of generic fights, because the actual canon fights between the characters don't happen as often as they do when playing the game. But they're neat little snippets, telling the background stories of the characters before a lot of the games start. Oh, that's a nice one. I might be able to combine that. That was definitely worth it. No, I don't want to explore now. I need to go back to Dhaka. Or not Dhaka, that's Yongguang. Let's see. Shop. Oh, I need to go to the other shop to combine the weapon, which I'll do in a bit. Maybe I'll do that first, see what I can do with this weapon. Kashgar. Let's go to the smithy. This is my new one. It has actually less maximum damage, but more minimum damage. It also has a 14% critical rate, so let's see what weapons I can throw into it. Can I just take both of those? Let's see. Critical damage, middle attack damage times 10. I use a lot, plus 10%. I use a lot of mid attacks. That might be worth doing, especially since I don't use full dose. It's really cheap to do this too. That's what I'm glad about. There are a lot of things I can't use. Soul gauge increase plus 20%. I like that. Let's go with it. Boom. Okay. Now let's go ahead and equip this new weapon. Critical rate of 14% is probably a lot better. Okay. Winter's Blade and the Striga. Striga? Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know. Never played Witcher, so I don't know a lot of these Witcher names. Now, what can I recruit? You can recruit these mercenaries to help you out and things. I wonder if... Ruan is a character that I met, so he's available for recruitment. And he's level 22. He's actually pretty tough. He's got that Emerald Nimbus. I wonder if... yes, these characters that I can recruit are from other people's created characters. That's pretty amusing. I wonder. I haven't done a mercenary. I want to fight with them, though. That might help me out. Okay, let's do this bounty request. Hey, Kain, there you are. I have a small errand for you. Please, have a seat. Jihan greeted me with a wide smile as I opened the door to the shop. He had been expecting me for some reason. Have you heard of the shinobi? They're sort of clandestine operatives from Japan. The land was divided into warring provinces for many years, and the shinobi operated in the shadows. Well, there's a group using shinobi techniques here in order to sow chaos in the Ming Empire. They formed a little cabal and have gotten into the business of robbery. It's quite a mess to clean up, really. The authorities have demanded my assistance in that, but nobody wants to pit themselves against people who can fight like devils and have an endless bag of tricks. That's when I was struck by the light of inspiration. You, Kain! I know I can trust you and you can handle yourself. I'll even add a little bonus to the reward. Help me out, will you? Jihan pressed 4 bounty notices for the band of thieves, the Nekomata gang, into my hands and ushered me out of the shop. Nekomata? Okay. Okay, these spots must be where the Nekomata are. Tama the Black Magic Sorceress. Okay, that's only 300. Arrived at destination. Oh boy, a bunch of skeletal puppets, and then yes, of course, he's got a cat thing on him because he's a Neko. Or she, I guess that's a woman. Hard to tell. I read the second bounty notice Jihan had given me. Tama, a woman who uses black magic to manipulate corpses. It seems she was lurking in the mountains to the west. Soul gauge fills more quickly, but you can't defeat an opponent unless soul charged. Oh boy. Okay. But only defeat, so this will be tricky. Oh, he countered me with a kick. Okay, that was simple enough. It's a good thing I figured out how to use the soul charge. I expected it to be just a normal combination of button presses, but it's actually back and ABK. ABK just being the one for that. Okay, let's see. We'll end your expedition now. We got back barely any money. Worth some good experience, though. Woo, Boss Unome, level 28. I think this is going to be time to use my mercenary to start with. Shinonome. Woo boy. Let's see. Looks like using Taki style, which makes sense. Okay, Ruan. And, do I have a better weapon for him? Oh, I can give him that weapon? Nice. Okay. And some of these foods I just don't really care about. Auto grapple break. What's the nullify counter? Stage is slippery, but your opponent is unaffected and their health increases over time. This is gonna be tough. The power of partnerships, because I used a mercenary.
Battle 1. Fight.
Oh, my mercenary fights automatically for me. That's interesting.
Damn you!
Oh no! You idiot, Ruan. Don't let him ring you out.
Battle 1. Fight.
Why is it keep flipping me around that way?
Ready.
No, 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 no! Darn slippery stages.
No mercy. No mercy.
Come on. Okay, 1 and 1. Okay, Miguel, see ya.
Ready. No mercy.
Okay, I think I got him.
Take this.
Oh boy. So using the mercenary really did me no good, but hey, now I learned how mercenaries work. I hope that I get some sort of better reward when I defeat all of them. Let's see, which is closer? Seem to be about equal. Tosuke and Rin, a pair of vagabonds pretending to be husband and wife. Seemed they had last been spotted along the road to the north. The stage is slippery, but only you are affected and your opponent's movement speed is increased. Are you kidding me? Okay. You can only use a mercenary once, too. That's the big problem with them. Now the problem is, this is one of those where I have to defeat all of them. I can retry the battle if I lose, but I have to start over from the beginning, so I cannot allow myself to get hit by the ring out on the slippery stage. Ooh, do. When in doubt, spam fire. Okay. End. I hope I don't have... Ooh, jeez. Double desert. Okay, Katsuragi Rose. That's all. This is expensive. I'm not going to get the money back, probably. So, again, hopefully, they will give me a break. The Katsuragi brothers. The elder a dwarf and the younger a giant. Seeing they had fled to Shiyu. 390 gold, so yeah, I'm not getting back. But hopefully I'll get a reward for taking care of all 4 of them. Ringouts are disabled. Something else is in effect I didn't pay attention to. I really love the reversal edge mechanic. It's just fun. Probably won't be as useful once I start speedrunning this because it takes so much time to activate, but some of these things it'll still probably be good to use. And yes, that has happened, so hopefully I'll get a bigger reward for going back. Okay, back to Yangguang. Final account. When I returned to the shop after eliminating the Nekomata gang, I was greeted by a beaming Jihan. Splendidly done, Kain. You took care of that affliction for me, didn't you? An official just gave me the good news. They said they'd have future work for me. My reputation in the city is growing. I can even swagger through the streets with pride now. Oh, the official left this for me as a little extra bonus. Here, remember where you got it. I'm so glad to have someone like you around. Don't be a stranger. 2,000 gold. Okay, that made it all worth it. Okay, now let's go back to the Astral Fissure. A terrible threat. Berserker, so good. We're going to get an Astral Fissure, which is worth lots of experience. You have reduced health and your opponent's attacks reduce your guard gauge more. Okay, so I don't want to block. Luckily, I don't worry about blocking very often. Though if Malfester no longer a threat, my headache had gotten significantly worse. Finally, the Astral Fissure was in sight, but the Berserker still stood in the way of closing it. There is still no sign of Aswell or his cronies. I believe we should refrain from closing the astral fissure just yet, and instead use it to lure Aswell out. I would agree. However, the intense pain in my head was making it hard to stand. It took me a moment to realize Gro was looking at me. Our priority this time is to close the astral fissure. With our companion here in such a sorry state, our mission could be compromised. Step forward, Kain. The astral fissure needs to be dealt with. Suddenly, with a great roar, a pair of berserkers emerged from the astral fissure. 2 of them! Sword kicker. A brawny one and a skinny one, of course. Without trace of fear, Gro stepped forward and drew his weapon. I stepped to his side and drew mine as well. I shall take one while you take the other. Stay strong.
Battle 1. Fight.
Looks like I got the brawny one. Ouch. Boy, he's high level. I didn't pay attention to what level he was.
No more half measure.
Battle 2. Fight.
Ah, blasted. So close.
Final battle. Fight.
No mercy. Stop. Take this. Give it up.
Ah, this guy's tough. Finally, the AI is getting rough and his stats are just insane.
To rest. Battle 1. Fight.
Too easy.
Jeez.
Battle 2. Fight.
I'm coming. I'll prevail. Showdown. One strike. We'll crush you. No more.
Final battle. Fight.
Okay, there we go. also think I need to go to creation and add an undershirt to Kain. Your underwear, whatever you have as your underwear will not get totally destroyed. Once I absorbed the astral fissure's power, the pain in my head abated. It is done. Are you feeling better? I nodded. Good. Next we head to the village up ahead and gather information.
Your soul surges in your body.
Level 27. Ooh. It is now 1586. Now we're starting to head to the west. Quick little adjustment here. See if this is dark. Strategist bodysuit. I'm just gonna go with that. Okay. Okay. I'll probably get even closer. How much would this cost now? 8,000 for crossing Thomas the Explorer. Hopefully he gives me some money back for all I've given him. A bit too much to cross though. Hopefully I'll be heading further west. I was taking a walk through the woods away from the campsite. A woman appeared. The same one who had helped Grow and I before. Uh-oh. Taki's going to attack me here. I found myself unable to sleep that night, so I decided to take a walk. A short distance from camp, I sensed someone hiding in the darkness of the forest. I tensed, expecting an enemy, but it was the woman who had helped us earlier that emerged from the shadows. I sensed the inhuman power within you. I saw you absorb that evil vortex. I conclude that you are no normal warrior. She had witnessed me taking care of the astral fissure. I know I needed to tread carefully here. I will not ask you to tell me of your power. Your blade will show me the truth of you. Yeah, you're not going to get a chance to say anything. It's going to be fight. We will convey our feelings through our swords.
Battle 1. Fight.
Do you fight for good or evil?
No more half measures. Battle 2. Fight. You do this. Try this.
Too slow.
What?
Stay down.
She did on me with a lethal hit.
Time to die.
Golly.
Harris.
Ouch. Okay, so that's the way you want it, huh?
Challenge accepted. Not a scratch. This is as far as you go. I'll decimate you. Now stay down.
No mercy. Stop. Take this.
Boom.
No
You leave me no choice.
fight.
you say so, Taki. Interesting. Those who stain their hearts with darkness deserve only death. But I may have been rash in my judgment of you. Still, that doesn't mean you are safe. Listen well. The moment evil consumes you, you have become my prey. Do not forget that. She glanced at the forest behind her. And deliver this warning to the man hiding over there. His left arm is like a thundercloud ready to strike lightning. With that, she disappeared back into the darkness. Moments later, Grow stepped into view. Quite the pesky mosquito we have on our backs. What do you know about her? Judging from her garb and bearing, she is what is called a ninja from a country far to the east. She has appeared in my organization's files before. Fear not. Should the evil consume you, I shall kill you quicker than she. I told him that wasn't exactly reassuring. Suddenly, I realized I hadn't thanked Grove for saving me from the Malfested earlier. I quickly did so. You need not thank me. I chose my actions. Time to head back. We rise early tomorrow. Get some sleep. Okay. Probably still a bit too... 8,000 across these mountains still. Crossing mountains is big. Hopefully that'll be the next area we arrive at. But that seems to be the case from the way we're going. What's here, by the way? Another level 41 Insurgent Straight. Okay, I'm not going to be ready for that for a while. A message for the Agent in Black. Learn and improve. Level 33 Grow. Wow. 270 power Arendite replica. Grow roughly kicked me awake one morning. Judging by the position of the sun, it was still quite early. What could have happened? Your opponent starts the battle. Soul Charge. Defeat them. Okay. He's probably going to give me a really big test. What do I want? Let's get some more high-quality flowering tea. Get my own soul gauge up high. I woke the next morning to the sound of Grow's voice. Grab your weapons and follow me. Now. I hurriedly jumped up and followed Grow as he stalked off. This area should be fine. Draw your weapon. Startled by his sudden request, I asked him what he intended to do. Grow let out a sigh. I suppose I should explain. I have no intention of harming you. I only wish to test you. Given that we still suspect you to be an outsider, it is likely that one day I will be ordered to eliminate you. Several conditions must be met if you are ever to be cleared of that suspicion. As part of that, I am tasked with performing regular observations of you in the astral fissures. In other words, I will fight you now to gauge how strong you are, then report my findings to the organization. It should go without saying that in order for me to get an accurate reading, you will need to fight me at full power. The surrounding air suddenly grew tense. Rose giving off the same power he had shown before. I began to doubt his commitment to not putting me in harm's way. I will go easy on you. Come at me. Yeah, level 33 Grow. Oh boy.
Battle 1. Fight!
Oh, he broke my cape.
Battle 2. Fight!
My word.
Evade it! Scarlet Flame!
The soul of a warrior now lays here to rest.
Okay. This is probably gonna take me a couple of tries.
Battle 1. Fight! Too slow. I shall not concede. One strike. Crush you! All of it. Go for it. Go Seeker! Scarlet Flame! Please! Special too slow! You can do this! Try this! No mercy!
Sheesh.
Battle 2. Fight! Take this! Take this! What? All of it! Go for it! Go Seeker!
Starts each battle with Soul Charged.
No mercy! Scarlet Flame! Don't move! No mercy!
God. Ah, his damage is just so much higher.
The soul of a warrior now lays here to rest.
Battle 1. Fight! Like this!
Especially while he's Soul Charged. It wears off after a bit, but
Do this! No mercy!
too good at blocking too. Oh, come on.
No mercy! Stop! Take this! Give it up! Take this! This will work!
The soul of a warrior now lays here to rest.
Battle 1. Fight! Limitless! Go for it! Go Seeker! Too slow!
Having no ring out is what's really paying us here.
Lead! Battle 2. Fight! Don't move! Missed me! Watch this! Take this! Too easy! Take this! Deploy! Take this! I'm coming! Receive! I'll prevail! Dead! One strike! We'll crush you! Too easy! No more half measures! I shall
Okay.
win my battle. Fight! Like this! Like that! Still going! Like this! Leave! You will be erased!
Oh, jeez, no.
It is here!
I'm amazed that didn't, but that got me. Ah, come on.
The soul of a warrior now lays here to rest.
Battle 1. Fight! Try this! Try this! Try this! Try this! Take this!
Okay.
No more half. I'm not done yet. Fight! Special attack like this!
Did 123 damage there, and that was barely any of his health.
You cannot resist. One strike. Will crush you. Try this. No mercy.
Oh, you're kidding.
Final battle. Fight. Get out of my sight. Try this. Do this. One strike. Will crush you. I'm using. I have.
Okay. Take that, winch. Okay, that did not mesh well with his soul charge, apparently. As Grow lowered his weapon, the intense air around him slowly settled. It seemed as though my test was over. I see. Your strength and reaction times have clearly improved since you absorbed the power of the Astral Fissure in Bukhara. So it seems Astral Fissures not only have the power to rid you of your headaches and stave off nightmares, but they can also increase your physical abilities as well. I watched Grow while he mulled things over and thought of Dion and Natalie. I wondered where they were and how troubled they would be if they happened to see Grow's strange power. I sent Dion and Natalie ahead to gather intelligence in town. I would not worry about them. It was almost as if Grow had read my mind. We still have some time. Let's spar one more time. It appeared the test wasn't over after all. As I hurriedly readied my weapon, I noticed Grow seemed somewhat more at ease this time. Relax, I will not use that power again. In fact, our fight made me realize I would like to re-examine a few of my techniques, and you will help me do that. My training with Grow continued for some time, ultimately lasting until Dion and Natalie made their return.
Your soul surges in your body.
Okay, I think that these are just generic places. Bounty for Scoundrels level 41. Search of Strength level 13. Search of Strength 11. All the basics. Putting this one way out in Japan, which I can't even locate. Sometimes they let you lack on it if that's too far away, or through too much stuff. Sir, the next astral fissure is located in the Fegal Sestimus Temple. Fegal Sestimus. From what Grow and the others had told me, they were a mad cult who worshipped a nefarious god called Palgaea. They were both cruel and brutal and delighted in human sacrifice. If we charge it blindly, I predict we will encounter heavy resistance. Additionally, their temple is a veritable labyrinth. It will take time to locate the astral fissure once we are inside. What do you suggest we do, sir? Simple. We take a cultist hostage and get the information we need from them. Sir. Yeah, that sounds easy. According to Dion and Natalie's information, there were 3 cultists nearby. The first was a high priest living in a village up ahead. The second was a swordsman who once worked for the cult as a mercenary. The third was a merchant who transported goods for the cult. The high priest was known to be a talented martial artist and had an elite bodyguard on hand. The swordsman was alone, but a warrior of great repute. The merchant had scores of guards, but none were particularly noteworthy. Each would likely provide us with a different type of information. Okay, let's do the tough thing. I just dealt with Grow. This can't be any worse than that. Assail the High Priest. Level 23, seriously? Though still, the more damage on for the bodyguard than I have on my weapon. Sheesh, so unfair. I need to find a level 20's weapon. The higher up they are in the organization, the more accurate the information they must have. With that in mind, we attack the High Priest and his escort, just outside the settlement. Your opponents have increased defense, and ringouts are disabled. Okay, let's see what we can do. I'm gonna nullify counters, at the very least. I heard that filthy rats were sniffing around our glorious temple, and you certainly look like rats to me. Ooh, witty one-liner. That wasn't that bad. This attack seems to work really, really well. Easy peasy. That was the hard one. We were able to obtain a sketched map of the grounds, complete with guard positions and the exact location of the astral fissure. We could not have done any better. We can use this information to formulate a plan. Sir. Cursed cult oil. Oh, there's a astral fissure that popped up near here as well. Handy. Our efforts helped us ascertain the location of the astral fissure in the Fegal Sestimus Temple. Our plan is complete. Dion and Natalie slip in and cause a commotion. We'll infiltrate the premises while they are distracted. Sir! We hit them tomorrow. Do not expect an easy ride. Prepare well. Sir! Oh ho! I always like it when new areas appear in towns. What's Kashgar got? Hammer to metal, the trial ahead. Bolta wants another duel with me. She is level 30 and has a pretty powerful weapon. As I was shopping in Kashgar, I heard a strange rumor about Bolta. It seems she had told the entire town about the iron sand and the salt flats. Vertical attacks do more damage, but other attacks are weakened. Okay. New Star Moscovite. That sounds interesting. As the roof of Bolta's smithy finally came into view, I could hear the rhythmic sound of hammer on iron. I stepped into the back room and saw Bolta working a sword on the anvil. I called out, but she didn't notice me. I watched her work for a while, and at last she quenched the red-hot blade in a nearby barrel of water and took a deep breath. Huh? How long have you been there, Kain? You should have said something. Come to check in on me? When I told her that the rumors going around the city bothered me, she grinned. Oh, that. You think I'm weird, too? After Bolta had gathered the iron sand from the salt flats, she'd extolled its quality to the local lord. Soon after, other smiths in need of iron began flocking to the site. It's no loss for me. The lord thanked me for the information and gave me permission to gather iron there whenever I wanted. Plus, if the other smiths in Kashgar are using good materials, the whole city's reputation goes up, right? Besides, nobody will be jealous for no good reason either. So relax, I pride myself on my technique. Even if the iron's the same, the results aren't. Still have some doubts, huh? Well, let's put him to rest. I want to enter this sword in the exhibition, but I need to check its balance. Let's give it a few swings. That'll prove its worth, right? Good. Then come with me. These things often don't give you a choice to accept or not, but by beginning this secondary mission anyway, that's kind of implying that you decided to accept it. You can always lose out and abort the mission if you decide that no is the answer you want. Except against a wall, that's a double combo I can use with this attack.
This so dull.
Oh, wow.
No mercy!
Darn it.
You're done.
I'm coming! I'll prevail!
It's nothing.
No mercy! Stop! Take this!
Boom.
Now we're
Final
done.
battle! Fight! Try this! Try this!
That'll finish? Not quite.
No mercy!
Then how about this? Ah, she blocked. Oh well. Yeah, that seems good. You agree, right? When I visited the shop a few days later, Bolta greeted me ecstatically. Huzzah! The weapon I turned in passed the first round of inspection. It's all thanks to you, Kain. But this is where it gets serious. I'll be squaring off against Yashin soon. I could use some more of your help if you got the time. I promised Bolta I'd do whatever I could before leaving her shop. Though I can't do it yet. Okay. So does the shop have better weapons now? I'm wondering if I need the extra damage now. 1600 gold isn't too much. But really, I want more things. What does the new Scar Moscovite have? Vertical attack damage plus 15. That's nice. Congealed Bloodguard's Soul Gauge increase plus 20. That's really good too. Previous Heliodor is combat damage plus 10. I was wondering what that was for. Can't do it from here. It's actually less from the other way. But I think it's just a normal place. Event. So those three are the only important event places. Oh, I have a new one down here. I better go investigate that. Back to Yangguang. Or actually closer from Wuchang. A letter for Fei Hong, Lord with the 5 rings. Yep. Fei Hong. Shihan's next letter was for Fei Hong, but the man had already received an offer from the Silver Tigers. Low attacks do more damage for both of us, and your opponent will survive one deadly blow with a small amount of health, so he has a guts. Ring outs will work if there are ring outs here. The Ming Empire had fallen into turmoil in recent years, and hiring guards had become the norm among merchants. However, there were some among these guards who would immediately turn on their clients once they were outside the safety of the city. This was not the case in Yangguang. Even guards hired outside of official channels performed their duties without fail. Apparently, this was because of a man named Fei Hong, who had organized all the guards unaffiliated with any crime syndicates. Jihan planned to revitalize his organization by allying himself with Fei Hong. He gave me a letter and sent me to meet the man. What? Damn it all, I lost again. One more round. Come on. You shouldn't. You're no good at this, Fei Hong. Near the castle gates, I found a man excitedly playing dice with his fellow mercenaries. It had to be Fei Hong. Well, if no one wants to play, hey you, how about a round or two? The man suddenly turned to address me, though I thought I had approached unnoticed. I turned down his offer and delivered the letter. When I said I had come on behalf of Jihan to propose an alliance, Fei Hong furrowed his brow. That puts me in a bind. I've received a similar offer recently. Lin Pei the Jackal himself came to see if we could strike a deal. He said there was a pile of money for me so big it would make my eyes pop out of my head. Young Jihan can't do better than that, can he? Hold on, though. To be fair, money isn't everything. Nasty work is still nasty work no matter how you're paid. A man like me needs to enjoy life. So, friend, what do you think? Can Jihan provide me with some fun? What sort of things do I find fun? Fei Hong's lips curved into a wicked grin as he locked eyes with me and assumed a fighting stance. Things like having a bout with someone who can give me a real challenge. Of course, because it's a fighting game, and that's what most of the people here want. I can't say everyone, because I don't think everyone does, but everybody with a weapon wants to use it.
Battle 1. Fight! Missed me! Missed me! No more! No more! Battle 2. Fight! Take this! You can do this! Try again! Stay still!
And that's done. Whoa, are you alright, Fei Hong? Ha ha ha, exactly what I wanted. It's a deal. I'll work with Jihan. Just promise we can do this again sometime. Oh, I'll come with you. Hey, get in line. I'm going to sign up with Jihan first. These hired swords seemed to have a strong sense of camaraderie. Now that Fei Hong was working with Jihan, it would be easier to find more men to help keep the peace in town, which in turn would help Yangguang prosper even further. Yangguang is leveled up again. What does leveling up do? Because I haven't seen a big difference in my shops yet. Well, let's go ahead and go to the Astral Fissure, where evil lurks. Thanks to Dion and Natalie's distraction, we managed to successfully infiltrate the temple. However, the chaos inside seemed too widespread to have been caused by our diversion alone. It seems we may not be the only intruders here today. That way, over there, now! What's going on here? Who dares desecrate our temple? The gallery's on fire! Someone put it out, quickly! Someone, anyone, report, what's happening? Intruders, they're wreaking havoc! The fiends, vanquish them! Gouge out their eyes! This is far too much chaos to have been caused by Dion and Natalie alone. Could he have gotten here before us? The Astral Fissure should be just ahead, but... Wait, hide, quickly! Do you see what I see? How dare you trespass in our sacred temple? You shall not leave here alive! Our God shall feast on your souls! Kill them! Kill them all! Ah ha 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 ha! You can't even scratch me! With the new power given to me by Lord Oswell, it is I who will feast on your souls! You lot, make a sweep of the surrounding area. See that no more worms crawl in. You got it. I knew it. We have to act now. Attack! We leapt out from the shadows, attracting the attention of Daniel and Voltro. Oh, I see we're unable to resist my beauty. Tell me, Gro, why do you pursue Lord Oswell so doggedly? Because you were ordered to? Or to avenge Orzal and Curtis? Such a grotesque attitude, truly vile. I have no desire to converse with traitors. Stand aside, Daniel. The cultists are dead. These pigs are next. Easy peasy. Yeah, it is. Such beauty, such an unsurpassable allure. We cannot scorn this one, I think. Stand down, Voltro. I'm not done here yet. With the power Lord Oswell bestowed upon me, these maggots are dust. Gwahaha! Remember the plan. Only the ugly know not when to restrain themselves. Shut your mouth, The power swallows his mind. I'm left with no other choice. Daniel disappeared, leaving his companion behind. Valtro swung his weapon wildly around himself, his breath breathing ragged and his eyes filled with mad bloodlust. There was no indication he was going to tire anytime soon. Leave this to me. You go on ahead and deal with the astral fissure. You think you can just leave? Your fight is with me. As Voltro and Gro clashed, I ran for the astral fissure, the sounds of battle echoing behind me.
Your soul surges in your body.
What? The astral fissure just vanished. Darn it. By the time I arrived at the astral fissure, it had been destroyed. The man standing there where it had been turned towards me and, with a flourish, gave a dramatic bow. It was Oswell, and yet it isn't telling me who my opponent is. Health and attack power have been increased, but their health depletes over time. Maybe he's sending somebody else after me. Recover 35% of damage dealt as HP. Wow. That's for a very big, difficult fight. Salutations! It's been far too long. If you're after the astral fissure, I'm afraid you're too late. Bravo! How delightful! Just as I'd planned. No, it's even more sublime. Magnifico! Fantastique! What a magnificent miscalculation! I just need a few more astral fissures worth of power. My spine is tingling with excitement at the... Oswell stopped suddenly and a shield appeared in front of him, deflecting a surprise attack from the newest intruder in this temple. I see your power has grown significantly. Oh me, oh my, what a silly fool. How dare you interrupt me mid-monologue? If I hadn't obtained the power from this astral fissure, I would have failed to detect your presence, and the curtain would have fallen too soon on my glorious performance. The resonance between the fragments of the cursed and spirit swords grows stronger. However, it is not yet strong enough to produce a sword. Such perceptiveness! You have a dangerous mind. The spear Oswell produced from thin air would have skewered Zaselma's body had he not evaded it. Very good. You're right, you know. Bingo. Good job. Once I raise the fragment's resonance to their limit, I'll be able to create swords, both cursed and spirit, that match the power of the originals. And with those, you hope to produce another evil seed? Do you really wish to destroy the planet? Evil seed? How dare you use such an egregious misnomer? I call it the ultimate seed. The evil seed formed because the cursed sword gorged itself on the violent emotions brought about by chaos and war. That is why it had such a terrible effect on the humans I love so dearly. However, it also gave them phenomenal power, and that is why I had my epiphany. Perhaps people can be given this extraordinary power without losing their reason. By doing so, I can free them from the shackles of humanity's absurd destiny. The ultimate seed is formed when the energies created by the spirit and cursed swords are fused together. By pushing their powers to the extreme, one can create something that far exceeds the evil seed. Once the ultimate seed covers the globe, the human race will evolve, allowing them to achieve eternal glory. Though it pains me that some will be unable to survive the seed's power, it will be for the greater good. Do you hear that, Kain? If he succeeds in creating the ultimate seed, many will die, including those whom you met on your journey. Stop him from taking any more astral fissures. From what he has revealed today, I must busy myself with another task. Leaving so soon? But I was enjoying our little discussion. Oswald summoned another blade and hurled it at Zasalamel, who casually deflected it before striding away. Such a pity he has no time to play. Then again, I must be on my... Vultro hurtled through the entrance, followed shortly after by Grow. Aswell. Lord Aswell, you're safe. Excellent timing, my little Vaulty. I have something to ask of you. Anything for you? If everything is going according to plan, Daniel and the others should have almost destroyed the temple's foundations by now. You keep these simple fools busy here. Naturally, I would love to do it myself, but I have things to do, places to be. But that means I'll... So you choose to rebel even though I was benevolent enough to offer you one last chance? No, not at all. But please ignore what I just said. You can trust me. Very well. In that case, I shall give you the gift of even greater power. Oswald placed his left hand on Vultro. The man shuddered violently, then let out a blood-curdling scream. Evil power exploded out from Vultro, whipping up a fierce wind. Adieu, my little Vaulty. Though dull of mind, you acted so human, and I shall miss it. Lord Ashwell.
Battle 1. Fight!
Take this. Too easy. No more half measures.
Battle 2. Fight!
Too easy.
Bam! So that should be the last of Vultro, hopefully. Aswell escaped. We shall meet again. The building shook violently and, with a rumble, the roof began to cave in. That is our cue to leave. Gasping, Vultro rose to his feet and pointed his weapon at us. You shall not leave. Your grave is here with me. Vultro charged, but Grow struck him down. His wounds should have been mortal, but he rose to his feet and pointed his weapon at us once more. Not done yet. Must make my lord proud. Vultro took a shaky step towards us and collapsed in a heap. Ro looked down at the fallen warrior for a moment, then turned away. It is done. He is too weak to stop us. No, I must stop you. I must. Ah! Okay, so tired of him. Vulture's screams were swallowed up by the crashing of falling masonry. Ro and I made our escape, dodging between chunks of falling debris. Once we had escaped the crumbling temple, we met back up with Dion and Natalie. According to Kain, the situation is much worse than we had imagined. The horrors of the evil seed will pale in comparison to what Aswell plans to bring about with the ultimate seed. With only a fraction more power at his disposal, Aswell will be able to summon the swords that he needs to realize his ambitions. We must prevent him from obtaining any more power from the astral fissures. So we need to take care of any fissures before he does. Precisely. Do you have any information on them? Yes, sir. We have confirmed that there are 2 of them nearby. One is to the northwest and the other to the west. We are not sure which Aswell will head to first. As we were discussing what to do next, a messenger from the Aval organization appeared. I found you. I have emergency orders I was told to hand to Sir Gro directly. Forgive me. I have other things to attend to. Our lives for the cause. Gro read through the latest set of orders. Dion, Natalie, you 2 will split up and each head to a different astral fissure. Kain will accompany you to one of you to close the fissure. Meanwhile, the other will rendezvous with the 2nd Squadron and protect the remaining fissure until Kain arrives to deal with it. Sir, I have another mission I need to prioritize. When it is done, I shall join you. Understood. And with that, Gro left. We watched him go and then began formulating our plan of action. So which astral fissure should be dealt with first? You are the one who can destroy them, so we shall follow your lead. It is rumored that the Azure Knight haunts the lands to the northwest, slaughtering all he needs. To the west, the road is comparatively safe. The fissure to the northwest is closer. It may be dangerous, but is it worth the risk? That's your call. If you head to the north, I shall accompany you. To the west, Natalie will. Huh, that's an interesting light and dark choice. Okay, now we can finally make it here without crossing mountains. Couple bandits. There was a certain something about Thomas that made him hard not to like. When we reunited, he had gotten himself into trouble yet again. Only high attacks are effective and your opponent moves more quickly. Okay, that's not particularly bad to deal with, especially against a level 18. No more money, but a sailor's aquamarine. It is said that the lateens of a dhow are ideal for catching the seasonal winds that sweep across the Indian Ocean. As I approached the harbor, I gazed out toward the horizon, where countless sails blossomed across the surface of the Persian Gulf, like the petals of white flowers. Shortly after disembarking, I heard shouting and a commotion. Wait, get back here, you thief! You scoundrel! A man darted toward me, clutching a bag with Thomas in hot pursuit. Friend, what serendipity! Please catch that man! Ch, he has a friend, huh? Out of my way, loser! Because we're using high attacks to lariat him as he runs by. That's something that always happens in anime.
Battle 1. Fight!
I need high attack, so I'm just going to spam AA. That's what it wants us to do. That's what we're gonna do. Damn! The thief let go of the bag and fled. Thomas arrived moments later, gasping for breath. Thank you, friend. After our last parting, I bought loads of tea and set sail for Europe. But alas, my ship suffered heavy damage in a storm, stranding me on the open ocean for a fortnight. I thought I was a goner for sure. But I did manage to get my hands on this fine item during my voyage. I'm relieved that I can honor the friendship you've shown me with this paltry offering at least. Consider it yours. Go on, take it. Thomas handed me a bundle. By the way, would you be interested in coming to see my prized vessel, or at least what's left of it? And perhaps we could then discuss how much you can contribute to its repair costs? I really hope I eventually get something out of this guy. Zounds, are you sure you're fine donating this much? Boy, I was right to choose you as my friend. You'll be rewarded handsomely for this, just you wait. It seemed as though I had given him enough to pay for the repairs. Thomas rushed off to the shipwright, grinning from ear to ear. Sailor's aquamarine has got to be a very good weapon. The sword's guiding glint. Trial. That'll be closer from there, of course. So actually, that doesn't seem like it's too far away. Amazingly, even the Schwarzwind is not too far away now. Oh, I saw something now. Echoes of Fate, Journey's Dawn, level 32. The Fading Light. That's got to be with Ivy, most likely. I could probably get closer to do it, but... Search of Strength again. Still crossing mountains and such things. Bounding for Scoundrels, level 12, isn't any use. What level is Reunion? With Maxi, Xianghua, and Keelik. Oh, wow. All three of them. I think I'm going to go ahead and explore these things first. 800 for that. I can afford that. And from here, how much is it to Schwarzwind? 1,000 E. What if I go there and then there? Uh-oh, warrior stands in my way immediately. Oh, I didn't even check what it was. Uh-oh. Hopefully not high level. Level 35.
Too easy, perish. Up prevail. One strike. Too easy.
Kick.
Your soul surges in your body.
Wild Hunt and Sword and Moonblade. Oh, gall. It's evil, though. But I got some great stuff otherwise. Mysterious enemy? Merrick. The Karablan crew, friends of Rustlin. Their number 5, Merrick, challenged me to a duel. I'm going to get some health restoring food. Yeah, some meat will be good. Oh darn, I took it off. It's you, isn't it? The one that beat that fool Rustlin. I'm Merrick, number 5 of the Karablan's crew. Draw steel on us and you'll get no mercy. You're only level 16. Don't make me laugh. Ouch.
No mercy! Stop! Take this! Give it up! Take this! I'm coming! You can do this! One strike! Let's rock you! Take this! Take this! Damn you! Don't move!
You beat me, but my friends will avenge me. You'll rue this day. Okay. Got all my health back at least. The sword's guiding trial, level 28. Ruins were a common sight in the city of Athens. However, the remains of a large imposing shrine caught my attention. Your opponent is invincible. Knock them out of the ring to win. Oh, reward and level 50 Omega sword and elk shield. Yikes. Okay. 540 gold, so a small amount back what I spent. Many ancient temples and shrines still dotted the rocky landscape of Greece. The Shrine of Eurydice, said to have been built by the old gods themselves, was one of these. But the shrine itself was beyond reach. Since the shrine itself was beyond reach, I visited one of the ruined buildings that made up the greater temple complex. Awed by the dignified beauty of the shrine atop the distant peak high above me, I offered up a solemn prayer. Strangely, I was beset by a sudden bout of dizziness. You have a most remarkable soul. I felt a voice reverberating within my mind and glanced about nervously. Interesting, so you can hear my voice. I am Hephaestus, god of the forge. Your soul, it is like melted iron that is yet to be given shape. Whether it is molded into darkness or light still remains to be seen. Hear me, Kain. I have prepared a trial for you. Show me the true nature of your soul. With the last of Hephaestus's words still ringing in my ears, a great light suddenly enveloped the statues of warriors around me. They groaned, stirred, and stepped forward, pointing their weapons at me. This is going to be tough.
Battle 1. Fight! Take this! Take this! Take this!
Jeez. There we go.
Battle 2. Fight! Take this!
This isn't going to... I accidentally hit that with my finger. This isn't going to do much good.
Give it up.
Okay, there we go. Whew. You have proven the purity of your heart, warrior. I grant you this boon. Take the divine object enshrined here. It belongs to you now. It was crafted by a master blacksmith, devout in his worship, and blessed by my hand. If one who has earned my favor wields it, they would be granted immeasurable power. Of course, some who could not hear my voice have benefited from its divine power as well. I asked if I had earned the god's favor. The god was silent a few moments before responding. You hold great potential within you, and that power will be needed someday. I will watch over you until that fateful day comes. With that, the voice faded. As Hephaestus commanded, I took up the blessed artifact and left the shrine behind. Okay. Another 450 is all it is to get to Schwarzwind. A level 40 bandit. Yikes. Not that great of a weapon, at least. Critical hits do more damage, defeat them. Critical rate of 20%, minus 19 now. That's not bad. But... oh boy, okay, I didn't use my mead before, so I'm going to go ahead and use it now, so that I'll heal up over the course of this battle. Yay! I wish my previous battle had been that easy. Wild Hunt and Moonblade, level 36 with 2 tricks. Okay, as soon as I get to level 36, finally. Also, Valiant Damascus Steel of superb quality. This has been profitable. Schwarzwind, Misfits. Walking along a meadow road, I encountered a group of young delinquents attacking a merchant's horse and cart. The brigands were supposedly part of an infamous gang of thieves. It looked as though there was trouble on the road up ahead. As I got closer, I noticed 2 young men attempting to pull what appeared to be a merchant from his carriage. What are you doing? Stop! We recognize that crest, you royal lapdog. You're bleeding us dry, getting fat on what you take from us. Because of you filthy merchants and aristocrats, we commoners don't even have enough money for food. But you know, we're reasonable people. You leave this carriage and your cargo here and we'll let you escape with your life. How dare you, you little thugs! Who do you think I... Why is he dressed like an Arabian when we're up here in northern Germany in the 16th century? Gah! Shut your trap, you dirty miser! Enraged, the 2 knocked the merchant unconscious. It was then I decided to intervene. I stepped in front of the 2 men. What, you here to save this guy or something? In that case, you're an enemy of Schwarzwind. That's not a mid attack, that must be high. If I'd known that, I would have used that before. Two men who called themselves members of the Schwarzwind put up quite a fight, but in the end I was able to incapacitate them. As I contemplated what to do with them, I was approached by a group of 3 people. I'm sorry to trouble you, but would you mind handing those 2 fools over to us? The likely leader of the group, a young woman, stepped forward and introduced herself. My name is Salia. Those 2 men are former comrades of mine. After leaving our group, they've been causing trouble and sullying the good name of the Schwarzwind. We came here to put an end to that. They're idiots, that's for sure, but I'm to blame for not keeping a tighter leash on them. I intend to take them back and ensure they get a proper punishment, so if you wouldn't mind. I agreed to the young woman's passionate plea and stepped away from the 2 men. Thank you. I apologize for the trouble they've caused you. I was curious as to what kind of group Schwarzwind was. When I asked the young woman, she quickly looked away. I'm grateful you didn't take the lives of these men, but our group is a separate matter altogether. If you truly want to know more about us, then you'll have to come to our headquarters. The young woman proceeded to tell me the location of her group's base of operations, then carried away the 2 unconscious men. That's level 34, the Knight of Darkness, a basic in Search of Strength, level 41. Schwarzwind, Valiant, 10,000 across the Alps. Well, I'm going to have to wait until after I get closer to there. But it was a pretty good thing. I have a powerful weapon for when I'm level 36. Until then, I'm going to have to struggle along, but that's going to do almost twice the damage. Run speed and guard gauge damage up, which isn't super great, but I get a 70% critical rate from it being a light artifact. And 95% damage bonus limited. Okay, that's pretty awesome, probably. While searching for the next astral fissure, I bumped into a familiar face. It was a perfect opportunity to catch up. Along the way, we decided to stop at a village to replenish our supplies and gather information. I shall find out what I can while you procure provisions for the road. When you are done, meet me at that tavern. I quickly restocked my provisions and headed to the boisterous tavern. Hi there, not the best time to come by, I'm afraid. There's a bit of a man soared through the air, cutting our conversation short. He slammed into the floor by the entrance and lay still. Fight. See what I mean? If you're gonna pick a fight with me, make sure you stand a chance first. From the back of the tavern appeared none other than Maxie. Huh? Hey, Kain! It looked like Maxie was the cause of the commotion. I greeted him, then asked what had happened. Heh, some people just have bad manners, you know? I just kind of laid down the law a little. Apparently some hoodlums had been causing trouble for one of the barmaids. Is that you, Kain? Who should appear next but Killick, followed by a sprightly young girl. Never in 100 years did I expect to see you here. You know Kain, Killick? Huh? You know Kain too, Maxie? Great, both of you know him, so which one of you is going to introduce us? It was a strange turn of events. Still, I thought it best to leave before we caused any more trouble. Judging by the twitchy smiles on the faces of the staff, it was a good idea. So you're the friend Maxie was telling me about. Man, it's been too long. You must have run into Killick after we went our separate ways. Yes, we met before I started my journey. Once we had celebrated our reunion, I asked them why they were here, and their smiles quickly faded. We're all heading west for different reasons. Isn't that right, Maxie? Yeah, I'm gonna get revenge for my crew. They were my family. The word revenge made my stomach lurch. What had happened to Kiam and the others? Maxie continued on with a troubled expression. Everyone was killed by that bastard Astaroth. His words shocked me to the core. All of them? Gone? Don't you worry about it. I'm gonna get revenge, even if I have to die to do it. Maxie's expression was dark and filled with rage, but I had no words to ease his pain. Anyway, enough killing the mood. He clapped his hands, breaking the tension that had fallen over us. We should be celebrating our reunion. You got any good ideas for the party, Killick? Me? How about we all have a tournament to make sure we've not gone rusty? It would cheer us up and be great training, too. Jeez, again with the training. Well, what do you think, Kain? I want to join in, too. Spectating's boring. One down! As Xianghua would sometimes say.
For you! Can you keep up? I'm going in! Just kidding!
Do this.
That's unfair that I have to fight all three of them. Don't recover all my health either. Oh yeah. Good thing I do a lot of damage. Oh jeez.
The soul of a warrior now lays here to rest.
Take this. I'm going to have my revenge. Take this. This is a great workout.
Much better. Much better start. Now Xianghua, I can't let her push me around.
Take this. Missed me. Missed me.
There's another! There! Block this!
Missed me.
Just kidding! There's another! I have no choice!
Okay, I have a little bit more health to deal with Keelik now.
No mercy.
Oh.
Overcome diversity.
Okay, much better. You don't stop improving, do you, Kain? You trying to conquer the world? As we all talked and laughed, Natalie appeared from the town, frowning deeply. The people at the tavern directed me here. Did you forget about our meeting? What on earth have you been doing? Uh-oh, someone's in trouble. Take care, Kain. I hope our paths cross again. It was great meeting you and better fighting you. See you. Oops. No, furious. Natalie dragged me away, I think it said.
Soul surges in your body.
I needed that level up too. Same old samurai, so we're about to meet Mitsurugi, it would appear. Okay, any events anywhere? This is Justice for Whom, Escort Job, level 36. I think I'm going to wait on that then. Any other of these that are things? Bounty for Scoundrels. Bounty for Scoundrels in Search of Strength. Apparently nothing. Oh yeah, and then this one up here. Is that another in Search of Strength? I think it usually is. Far East Island Nation. No, it isn't. Let's go ahead and explore.
Stands in your way.
Level 15 warrior is nothing. Huh, an evil sword.
Stands in your way.
Another enemy. I didn't even see who they were, but they must not be anything. We're probably going to encounter Geralt about the time we meet Mitsurugi here. I remember seeing in some of the promotion videos with Geralt that Mitsurugi was standing by a custom character when Geralt suddenly appeared. And in the Geralt storyline, the only major encounter he has with a Soulcalibur character is on his way trying to take the portal back to his homeworld. Mitsurugi stops him to challenge him to a duel. I finally caught up with you, he said, so... Any of the events that happen in this mode are important. They do factor in there, but except for when Keelik gets to fight your character in this main storyline, it goes out of the line. There's an In Search of Strength, which will give me a little bit of reward. Get those done just out there. I've been playing for a long time. I've been losing track of it. But story's getting really, really good right now.
Battle 1. Fight.
Are you an Aswell? Oh, I need to clip that. That was brilliant. Aswell is not very hard if you have unrelenting attacks, because Aswell takes time to shift between his weapon styles. And if you are playing as Aswell, you need to just spam a couple of attacks like A's or something. Another thing, a flowering tea as well. That's good. I'm going to start using flowering teas. Trade route: the Far East Island Nation. In hopes of finding dried abalone for the nobleman in Samarkand, I ventured eastward toward Japan. There, the lord of a castle offered the item as a reward for taking care of some local ruffians. Your opponents get stronger as their health decreases. Oh, that's always fun. Their weapons are roughly equal to mine, but otherwise they're not scary. Let's have some flowering tea, though. Or some green tea. We'll do that. No problem. No problem. However, it didn't offer the abalone in the reward that I had. The castle's owner gave me some dried abalone. I need to hurry and deliver it to Samarkand.
Your soul surges in your body.
Unless it's a quest item, so... Oh, another In Search of Strength. Nah, I'm gonna end the route. Hurry up to Samarkand and deliver that. About half a day's journey along the trade route from Samarkand, I arrived at the Lord's Manor. Oh ho, so you're the one who solved my riddle. I hear you have some dried abalone for me. Wonderful work, most excellent. I had assumed a lord as wealthy and powerful as he would be haughty and arrogant, but to my surprise he was both cheerful and friendly. When I last issued a request for a rare item, I was beset by swarms of fools and swindlers who brought me fakes and forgeries. So this time I thought I would couch my request in the form of a riddle. That way only those sharp of wit and discerning of eye would answer the call. Thank you for bringing me the object of my desire. Oh, how I wish I could introduce you to my daughter, but alas, she has not been well of late. Do forgive me. You worry too much about me, father. What the devil are you doing out of bed? The Lord had reason to be worried. His daughter was pale and weak, and her legs shook as she clung to the wall for support. You must allow me to thank the one who worked so hard on my behalf. Sir, I am most grateful to you. As you can see, my constitution is weak, and I often struggle merely to rise from my bed. Father worries about me and often seeks out rare remedies and medicinal foods in the hopes of finding a cure. She gave me a faint smile. So this is dried abalone? I confess I've never seen it before. I wonder how one should best prepare it. My daughter rarely listens to me and always cooks her own meals. I tell her she needs to rest, but does she listen? So much effort went into acquiring this. If I refused to prepare it myself, it would be rude to both the food and the one who brought it. Besides, I want to do as many things as I can while I still live. She invited me to join her for dinner, but when I learned that dried abalone took days to prepare, I politely declined. With great regret, I waved goodbye and set off. Not long after, I received a thank you letter from the Lord's daughter. She wrote pages of flowery prose that described how the chewy texture and rich flavor of the dried abalone had delighted her senses. She spoke at length of how it had ignited in her a passion for the distant sea in which she had never laid eyes upon. That gave me 1,000 gold. Riddled me that. A meadow spread out before me, framed by an endless blue sky. I walked, savoring the fresh, clean air, and after some time saw beautiful buildings rise into view on the horizon. I smiled at the sight of the familiar outskirts of the great oasis city of Samarkand. A short time later I had entered the city. The solemn chants of people saying their morning prayers filled the air, signaling the start of a new day. I made my way to the bazaar, where the shouts of merchants preparing for the day ahead mingled with the clatter of wagons and other city noises. In the middle of a plaza, a few people had stopped to read a notice. I suddenly felt a strong sense of déjà vu. Another riddle? Let's see. A handsome reward to those who present me with the item that embodies these words. The lightning may strike twice, once is enough for a smell quite nice. Ugh, rich people have too much time on their hands. While in Greece, I'd heard someone say that white truffles grew where lightning struck the ground. That had to be the answer. Simple. As before, the notice bore the name of the wealthy lord who ruled the oasis to the west. Worry gripped my chest. Could it be his daughter's condition had worsened? There was only one way to find out. I'd heard that white truffles are mostly found in Italy. Okay, that's going to be a while to take care of. Search of Strength. That guy I'm going to get when I'm level 36. That was probably the other Search of Strength I did. I wish I would latch onto them anyway, so that I could at least... Level 41, Bounty for Scoundrels. Route to Italy in the north. Only 1,800 from where I'm at is the most amazing thing. The Accursed. That sounds interesting. $1,300 from there. I'll wait though. Let's go ahead and see if we meet Mitsurugi and Geralt, and then go from there. Natalie and I were passing by the town of Batumi when, out of nowhere, a familiar voice called out to me, Mitsurugi. It seemed that a lot had happened to him back in his native Japan. Get rid of some black pepper. Hey, you over there! Could you spare some food? I cannot pay you, but instead I can guard you on your way to... Why, if it isn't Kain! If memory serves, you were searching for a fishy? I see you're still looking, but before we get lost in the past, how about sending some food my way? So you have journeyed with this man before? I nodded to Natalie and then handed some food to Mitsurugi. Natalie watched, carefully assessing the situation. Much appreciated. If only there was a big war, I'd eat well. When the world's at peace, I go hungry. Ha ha ha. I asked Mitsurugi what he had been up to since we last met. I returned to my homeland to settle the score with the Tanegashima. Unfortunately, I could not win. Though I'm loath to admit it, I'm still too weak. So I started over from square one and have been training non-stop since. Then I heard rumors of Soul Edge being revived, so now I travel in search of its owner, this Knight of Mare. As promised, I shall be your guard for a while in return for your kindness. You know, I'd also like to cross blades with one of those berserks, were they called? An extra pair of hands, a familiar face. Your offer has merit. However, I need to know for certain that you are a capable fighter. Very well. Words alone cannot prove ability. Hey, Kain, I'm excited to see how far you've come. I challenge you to a duel.
Battle 1. Fight! Ha! I have been waiting for this battle. Don't move. Don't move. I'm coming. No more half measures. Battle 2. Fight! Ready? Watch this. Watch this. Brace yourself. Ready?
Ouch. Mitsurugi's gotten better. He couldn't take a match off me before.
See that? Too slow. I'll prevail. No mercy. Stop. Take this. Give it up.
Whew, that was close.
No more half measures. Fight. Try mercy.
Uh-oh.
I have some. Try this. Ready?
Haha. Take that. Whew, that was a good workout. I think I'm hungry again. So, did I pass your test? You are indeed highly skilled. I formally request your support. That's the spirit. Ha ha ha. Natalie. Natalie's heart was troubled as she reflected on everything that had happened since she began her pursuit of Aswell. It has been a number of days since we parted ways with Grow. Dion sent word that his mission was proceeding smoothly, but still we have no idea where Aswell and his rabid dogs are located. We should plan to encounter them at the Astral Fissure and wipe them out there. I am concerned about Grow. Where could he have gone? I am without proof, but he must be hiding something. There is something suspicious about Curtis's death. The report said he was caught unawares by Aswell, but something does not quite ring true. But I do not know that had Grow not involved himself in that mission, Curtis would still be alive. He needs to be watched closely. And what about Kain? Just what is he? While the organization has not classified him as an outsider, he is most assuredly not a normal human. However, I should refrain from making any judgments for the time being. Uh-oh. A new astral fissure and a castle. Ah, okay, this is going to be Geralt. With Mitsurugi for company, we pressed on. Suddenly a strange yet familiar aura filled the air. It felt like a berserker stepping forth from an astral fissure. Something in the air sends a tingle down my spine. No, could it be another astral fissure has spawned? I shall investigate the area. You two stay put. I know this feeling. More berserkers, I wager. Forget Natalie. I will not let a good fight pass me by. Let's go, Kain. Ignoring Natalie's orders, Mitsurugi sprinted off. Left with little choice, I quickly followed. Ah, we actually get a cutscene. It's so important. Here we go. This is what I saw in the preview videos I was talking about.
That how you greet folk in this world? He blocked that. Come take me on. Crap like this. Exactly why I hate portals. Come on! What the? Strange sorcery.
He's not bad with a sword. But I'm not the one he seems interested in.
Mystery opponent. Who are you? Sure as hell don't look like you ride with the hunt. Yet your power's clearly not human either.
That's disappointing. Sooner or later, I will face you in battle. Just you wait.
Fine. For now, let's see what you are made of.
The same thing you are. That's right. I copied your moveset. I stole it. I'm going to defeat you and be the protagonist of the next Witcher.
Battle 1. Fight!
Take this, gotcha.
Yep. This is where the difficulty's starting to ramp up. I think he's got a lot better weapon than I do, too.
Stand up. Now take my steel. Not your lucky day.
Ouch. Low attack. Whew. Beating him 3 times is going to be a nightmare. I hit the wrong thing on my controller. Like I was trying to load something. That wasn't a good start.
The soul of a warrior now lays here to rest.
Okay.
Battle 1. Fight!
Take this. What? Get ready. Do this.
Okay, a ring out. That's a good start. Doing much better.
Fight. Take this. Whoa. Stay down.
how did he block that? Sheesh. Got one good battle in, and now I'm being slaughtered. Oh, you're kidding. Okay, well I did better than the last time and won one of 3. Okay. 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 2 down. Nice punish.
Now taste my steel. Not your lucky day. Whoa.
He seems like he's got me this time. Oh, jeez. He's got me figured out there. No, 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 no! He's got me out again. Jeez. Okay. I'm way too far away, unfortunately. I'm far away again. Turn it. Haha! Revenge is sweet. And best served with fire.
Your soul surges in your body.
Okay, well, I think that's a good place to put it up for now. I finally encountered Geralt. We'll see what he does with all of this. Now, until next time, this is going to be it here. Not a whole lot else going on at the moment. Got a couple weeks before my next run, so I'll be trying to push through over the next couple weeks and finish up my first run of this Libra of Souls. And then we'll see what else I do, but eventually I'm going to start trying the speed run for it. So until later, adios.